All right, and with no further ado, let's all welcome up David Laulusa, who's another DevOps Days organizer for Ohio, which is still yet coming up this year. So if you want to drive for like, what, 6-8 hours, and go to another DevOps Days, it's coming up quickly. All right.
All right, how do I get it so that... well, but also I'd like to see my I guess I need like two. That's the extended string, so except I must be mirroring. Wow. Yeah. Come on, we can do this. There you go. Now I have to move that over. All right. Okay. One thing about being older is that not only do you have to have glasses, but you have to have two kinds of glasses depending on whatever you're looking at. All right, let's see if this thing. Okay, great. All right, well, talofa. Okay. When I say talofa, you would say talofa. All right, let's try that. Talofa.
Hello.
Now, I don't really want to make you stand, but you got to get it so that you're, probably from your diaphragm. Don't wreck your voice. It's not up in your throat, but get it down here. I don't want to have my cousin to come over and make you stand and do it. Okay, so. All right, so. Talofa.
Talofa.
Much better, much better. All right.
What language is that in?
Oh, greetings from the island of Samoa. All right. So now, one of the reasons why I'm not 6'5" to 80 is because my mom's Chinese. All right. So, yeah. So now, I think one of is it going to be the toughest thing is to learn how to say my name. Laulusa. So since we're getting a lot better at this echo voice thing, let's try this thing. Okay, so la,
Lu,
sa.
Sa.
Okay, so put it together. Laulusa.
Laulusa.
Good, excellent. Now I'll just have you know that my dad says that I don't quite have it right. An accent or something like that, but yeah, So now one of the things about, okay, this is organizing for diversity, but this talk is centric because of those examples. However, can be used for any underrepresented group. Now, one of the things is, okay, I also have 7 granddaughters, and you would think that I have this thing down pretty good. No? Now, if my family were here, this is what would be going through their heads. They're going, there he goes again. I can't believe he's talking about that. What a hypocrite. And the kids are even worse. All right? So, this all started way back, last year at DevOps Days in Tel Aviv, when Leon Adado told me that there were significantly more women in attendance than DevOps Days Ohio. Oh, did you say that we were recording?
Yep.
Yes, okay. To my DevOps Days Tel Aviv. I'm sorry that I can't be there this year, but hopefully next year in Jerusalem, next year in the Holy Land, okay? Anyway, okay, so we were in DevOps Days Tel Aviv, and I had noticed that too, but being the introvert, I wasn't going to say anything. So I was wondering, what did they do? Can we do that too? And so that's where the genesis of this talk came. And at first I was only going to do a 5 minute because I thought, I don't know if I have enough for a full 30. But as I was gathering information, it turned out that, yeah, okay, I do actually have enough stuff. So one of the things before we go any further, I'd like to talk about the elephant in the room and actually get rid of it, right? This is what I heard at an open space once. It says, how do I increase the number of women in the pipeline? And then said, do I need to lower my standards? And I couldn't believe that I heard that. So don't say it, don't even think it. It's stupid, it's insulting. It doesn't help, all right? So now, this is Renee, and she's part of she went to DevOps Days Ohio last year, and she decided to join the organizing committee this year because we were cool. Jaw dropped. I mean, there's silence on the conference call for like 15 seconds. I mean, I've been called a lot of things, but cool ain't one of them, right? Now, here she is. This one of her tasks is to find the venue for our speaker dinner this year, and this is the place that she found. It just got finished construction last month, and that's one reason why she's wearing the construction hat. Now, rule number 1, in order to attract talent, you must be attractive, right? Now, luckily for us, we can use DevOps principles to become attractive. Ann Campbell-Pretty, she was a general manager for strategic delivery at Telstra. She said that there was a marked increase in employee retention after they began to apply the DevOps principles in their organization. Chloe, she told me that she finds the DevOps culture enlightening. In her former life as an actress, she said that, yes, she got counsel and advice from other actors, but she found that the words were kind of measured, and she felt that, well, they're not telling everything because you might be taking over my job someday. But in her DevOps world, everyone's helpful, friendly, upbeat, and it felt sincere. And so DevOps, the culture DevOps is inclusive. All right. Now, once you are living the DevOps, right, you can start attracting other people. In the State of DevOps report in 2016, now I have downloaded the 2017, but I haven't actually read it yet, which I should. But in 2016, it says that you're 2.2 times more likely to recommend your organization as a great place to work. 1.8 times more likely to recommend your team as a great working environment. So once you have a great culture within your organization, yes, you start keeping people, but they will tell others, hey, this is a great place to work, maybe you want to check it out. Also, Nicole said recently, and I believe, I got it from Bridget, I believe, because it's one of your tweets. It said, instead of a destination, pick a direction and continuously improve. So that was cool, and I just stuck that in just now. Okay, Crystal Huff, in the vein of continuous improvement, this Kaizen, during an open space at Tel Aviv, Crystal suggested that when a woman leaves, and actually, probably you should just always do this, have her come back for a blameless post-mortem. Oh, we don't call it that. Retrospective. Post-incident review. And pay her as a consultant, ask the questions, and then you shut up and listen, right? Don't justify actions, no defense, just the things you want. You only ask things to clarify. You have 2 ears, 1 mouth, right? So you listen, and then find out what it will take to improve. Su Che, she talked about smaller batch sizes. Obviously, your sphere of influence is smaller than your sphere of concern. Unless, okay, or the other way around, you said your sphere of concern is much larger than your sphere of influence. So you start small. You start where you are. One of the suggestions he had was, hey, what about pink conference t-shirts, right? So how many black or gray conference t-shirts do you have? How many? I just actually gave away a huge bag to Goodwill because my wife's going, how many t-shirts do you have and why do you have them all? Give them away. So, yes. So maybe start small, wherever you are. One of the other things she talked about is pay based on the salary band, not on your former W-2. Do you remember that? Okay, so she was talking about, she was hiring someone who was going to be a junior engineer, and the salary band was something like $70,000 to $85,000, right? Well, this is a person who had been a Starbucks barista, and I think working 2 jobs, so it's really tough, but she finally was able to get the training that she needed to be able to be at the skill level for a junior engineer. Well, they offered her at $55,000 because, well, it was twice as much as she had been making. But Sue was in a position to say, just pay her what we said we were going to pay her, and in that band. All right, so. Now, okay, my wife is a LuLaRoe consultant, as you can see. This is our living room. And pretty much takes all downstairs. And so, but when she got all the clothes, got it all hanging, and ready for, but when, she opens the door for business, could she just kind of sit back and wait and have all the people come and buy all this wonderful stuff? Nah. She has to go out to where her clients would be and invite them to come, because they don't know that it's there. Now, you need to go where underrepresented groups are and invite them to attend, right? So when DevOpsDays Tel Aviv was looking to increase women in attendance, they went to places where women were, like the military. There were several other places, and so they went there. Now in Columbus, we're working with Girl Develop It. There's the Meetup group, and also working with Women in Tech. Yes. Now, at Bell Labs, when I was at Bell Labs, we pretty much went to all the major universities to recruit. However, we weren't getting enough of the a good percentage of the underrepresented groups. So each department was charged with going to lesser known universities to recruit. So our department chose Southern Illinois University. Oh, I forgot I did that. Okay, and one campus in Edwardsville and one in Carbondale. So I would go to each of those places to recruit, and we would work with also with some of the student groups like SWE and NSBE. NSBE, National Society of Black Engineers. SWE is Society of Women Engineers. We'd always have pizza together with these groups, and you know, college kids and pizza, yeah, if there's pizza, they will come. So now we would also hold professional seminars like interviewing, resume writing, or how the phone network works. So, there we go. All right. So then I read this blog post by Heidi, and she said that conferences should seek a balance in their speakers because people are more likely to attend when the speakers are more like themselves. And so that is the same with at work, right? They would more likely join when there's more people like themselves. And of course, when I read this, I go, oh, there's more things I need to do. So in Columbus, DevOps Columbus, we partner with Girl Development. And then recently, we co-sponsored a meetup that had a really great panel, mostly from women in tech, that talked about how to write better titles and abstracts for technical conferences. And our hope was to increase the number of women who submit for our CFP. So this was our first year. I'm not sure how well we did, but we still need to continue to do this. I know Minneapolis had just a great a balance, and at Hartford, the first three speakers, no, there were 3 women out of the first 4 speakers. So that was, wow. And yeah, Emily, you were one of the first, right? You were the next day?
No,
Yes. Yeah. You were tweeting, sorry. Okay, so. All right. Okay, so now after the NFL draft finishes, right, teams are looking for diamonds in the rough. UDFAs, undrafted free agents. They often look in unusual places to find talent that perhaps has not yet blossomed. And they often feel that with some excellent coaching, that some of these players can make their roster and might even become starters. Tony Romo from Eastern Illinois is probably one of the more famous UDFAs. So now, in 2011, SAP had 19% women in leadership and embarked on a journey to increase that number to 25%, which they had reached just this year. And they're going to continue to grow that number to 30% by 2022. And in the second quarter of 2017, SAP added 2 female executives to the SAP Executive Board. All right. Yes. Mentoring. I've seen several tweets lately on the subject of mentoring. Let's see, one of them says, less rock stars, more mentors, develop people, not products. There's another one I remember seeing is, if you are a black woman in tech and want to be mentored, please DM me. Too many of us are leaving tech and I want to help. So, be a mentor, find a mentor. Now, if you don't have a mentor, here's a few that you may want to follow. Sandy Metz. I got the Ruby book. I mean, and she wrote it, so, yeah. What else can I say? Okay, so yeah, she is Ruby. Elizabeth Hendrickson. I got her book also, Explore It. Testing, exploratory testing and a lot. I mean, she's just like her Twitter handle, test obsessed. Dominica de Grandis, Kanban, Lean Flow. She's great. She's really good. All right, I did not know that you were going to be here. I really didn't. Okay, she's a member of CORE, and she got a lot of great insights. She's on the Slack channel. It seems like all the time answering questions and giving advice, and it's really been good. Part of CORE. Courtney Kistler had been an executive at Nordstrom, and then recently Starbucks, but management by walking around. Kind of cool. And we had her a couple of years ago come down to DevOpsDays Ohio. And then a shout out to my boss at SAP. When I first got there, day one, she handed me 2 books, Phoenix Project, Continuous Delivery. She said, here, read these, figure out this DevOps thing. Wow. I mean, she had a vision, and DevOps was where it was, but she needed someone to try to help that to happen. Now, before that, I had no idea what DevOps was. I had never heard of the word. And the recruiter talked me into it just to, are you sure? I don't fit anything. He goes, they're thinking outside the box, and you fit. I go, oh, okay, cool. Okay, she doesn't have a Twitter handle, so that's why I guess yeah, she doesn't do Twitter. Anyways, okay, Khadija, at DevOpsDays Raleigh, Khadija told us, diversity is being invited to the party. Inclusion is being asked to dance. So now, if you've seen my Tater Talk, this is how we dance, okay? The Dalai Lama said, just as ripples spread out when a single pebble is dropped into the water, the actions of individuals can have far-reaching effects. So at DevOps Day Hartford, Susie Choi gave us a pebble. Yes, to remind us, yes, but also so that we can have pebble stories next year. All right, so make a difference. Now, all of these steps require action. I mean, it's an organizing, which is an action verb. So all of these steps require action. Passivity won't cut it. So go and do. Thanks.